But what's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to. Christians sometimes call you guys up, and they have an argument that life can only come from life. So therefore, you have to have God in the first place create life to come along. But I don't think that's true. I think that because if you look, a human being, a life form, eats a cow. A cow's a life form, and the cow eats grass. The grass is a life form, but the grass takes minerals and water from the ground, sunshine and air, and that's what creates the green life form, the plant.
Right.
So essentially, as you come up the ladder, his life is not coming from another life. It's coming from these minerals and water and sunshine and air.
Yeah, but a lot of theists would argue that is God. God is the life form that makes that all possible.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Not that I buy that, but that's what I would expect to hear.
Yeah, but still, though, sorry about that. But still, the whole thing basically comes from plants growing in the ground. It gives everything else its life.
Yeah, and it all ultimately derives from the energy from the sun, right? Which, you know, we can explain through nuclear reactions and these sorts of things. So, and gravity, pulling all the mass together. Right. So, there's nothing supernatural here.
Yeah, life doesn't, life generally doesn't originate at a certain point in the conception cycle. The more interesting philosophical question to a lot of people is, at what point is it a person to which we grant rights.
Right.
And
this idea
is not that clearly defined.
Yeah, and there's no real basis for this notion of a moment of conception.
Right.
Like there isn't such a thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can go far enough back. At what point, there's certainly no groups that I'm aware of that say you can't destroy a load of sperm. Even though the sperm is totally alive.
It's a sin to masturbate.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. Because every time you ejaculate, you should be having 6 billion babies or something like that. Because that makes tons of sense.
Right.
Well, that really is the edict of the Catholic Church, that every single egg that a woman produces is intended to be a human, and you're supposed to do everything in your power to bring that about.
Yep. Because we need to address the terrifying underpopulation problem that we have.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another thing I wanted to say was that this idea of religion itself. I don't think that religion really cares whether there's a God or not. They just want money. So they use this concept of God to threaten people and scare you. If you don't send all your money to the preacher, you're going to hell in a handbasket.
I don't think that you can say that for all religious people. And I do want to just give context here. The call screen says you are a theist, but you haven't mentioned that yet. So I'm just bringing that up.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Religion has nothing to do with God.
I disagree.
They don't care if there's a God or not.
I disagree.
I think I see where you're going with it. There is a mandate, whether spoken or tacit, among religions to perpetuate the religion.
Sure, right. But that is in addition to the context of the religion. And there are some cults that talk up the almost divinity of an individual living person. Arguably, you've got someone like Kim Jong-un who is considered sort of godly, or at least extremely good at everything. Yeah. But I mean, a lot of religions definitely have the central tenet of worshiping a god, and I don't think that it is up to us to say that that they don't actually believe that when we have so much evidence to the contrary.
Well, there's a lot of intertwined ideas, and I think perpetuating the religion is certainly part of it, and the God belief is part of it, and the sacredness of this or that is part of it, and it's all very intertwined.
Well, what do you think of the idea if a person says, okay, he's a theist, he believes there's God, but he doesn't believe the idea of religion.
I think that is, to me, that's a lot like splitting hairs. I mean, I've had a lot of other theists claim that they believe in God, but they don't believe in organized religion. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're just taking a variant of a religion and making it very personal. It still has a lot of irrational baggage tied to it. It just happens not to be a popular variety of baggage.
We hear a lot of I'm spiritual but not religious, and
sure, there's that.
I think our general response is, what do you believe and why, and why should we believe it? Those sorts of questions are always relevant, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like there's one thing a person can have about their life, which is that they very strongly and sincerely believe in God. And there's another thing that they can have in their life, which is that they think the best way to promote that belief is through participation in organized worship or something. We disagree with the God part right out of the gate. So, and we don't necessarily disagree with organized institutions doing what they want to do until the point where they start to, get a little power hungry or interfere with other people's lives who aren't part of the group.
Well, that's exactly what they do. That's
I know.
The point. Yeah. Well, I don't understand exactly what it is you guys object to. Is it religion or the idea of God or that?
Both?
For me,
why can't it be both?
I would be probably labeled an anti-theist. I think religion does harm, and I think that I'm trying to mitigate that harm by challenging the religious beliefs and assumptions.
Right. I think I think that people should be skeptical of a lot more things than they are, and I think that believing in God is frequently a symptom of a certain kind of gullibility. No offense. Well, a little offense.
No, but I mean...
It's easy to lump a lot of baggage onto that. Once you believe in God, it's easy to get somebody to believe that, we're chosen, or our beliefs are chosen or special, and these other people need to be suppressed because their beliefs are bad, and it just goes downhill from there. So God belief is often the beginning of something bad. It doesn't always have to be, but it often is.
I think that there are problems that are brought in when you believe something like, I think that there is an all-powerful creator of the universe who knows everything, and I'm sort of a little bit tapped into what he's thinking.
Yeah, like Dan Patrick.
Right, and that's where religions come from. But just a basic belief in God is sort of a gateway to that, I think.
No. That's not where religion comes from. Religion comes from the idea of some guys looking at this saying, hey, I can make some money off of this thing. Now, you people come in here to my meeting and you give me all your money.
Okay, so you're presuming to read the mind of everybody who gets involved in organized religion. I can tell you...
Yeah, there are plenty of people that don't think that way.
Yeah. I'm not saying that never happens. I'm just saying it's an awfully broad statement to say that religion has nothing to do with God. That doesn't compute for me.
Yeah, I know. Because were you guys Christians before you became?
Not me.
Atheists?
Actually, neither one of us were. No. Although we do have other hosts on the show who have various backgrounds.
Yeah, backgrounds. Yeah. Well, I think you really got, especially Christianity, because Christianity doesn't worship God; they worship Satan. Their God, Jesus, is the devil. That's why they're so evil.
I mean, you're doing it again. You are. I mean, first of all,
be careful with the gross generalization.
We don't believe in either God or Satan. So to me, like saying they worship one guy or the other. I mean, it's like saying, do they worship Harry Potter or Darth Vader? Like, neither one of those is real, and I think the problem fundamentally is believing stuff that isn't real.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, they worship this evil thing. There is evil, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, if you look at the behavior of the God in the Bible, he's a pretty awful character.
Right.
He's a wanton murderer.
Tell us about the God that you believe in. Do you think he's described in the Bible or not?
Yeah.
You do?
Jehovah.
Okay.
Jehovah.
So we've got problems with that God. And it's got nothing to do with the organizations around him. The Bible has a ton of stuff that God supposedly told people to do. That's terrible advice. And takes a lot of actions like drowning everybody on earth that are downright evil. And that's got nothing to do with the institutions that claim to follow that book. We just think the book's problematic to begin with.
Yeah, but if you look on the book, it's written by some guy.
Yeah,
and
well,
if you read the book,
so is all God belief.
Huh?
So is all God belief.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh. Is too.
Well, I'm not quite sure I understand the claim.
No, I don't think so, because religion is all basically a cult, just to get money out of people, to get followers, and to have control over the people.
You already said that, and I disagreed with it. I mean,
you don't agree with that?
I do agree that none of it has foundation in reality, and I do agree that a lot of people take advantage of it to manipulate people, but I am not going to follow you to the place where you say that's the only reason people believe.
Oh, yeah. Well, easy to sucker people into something, especially when it's a fear tactic.
Okay.
You're going to hell.
Why do you believe in God?
Well, because he came to me.
Oh.
So you have personal experience.
In what sense?
Yeah, I guess you could say it that way. Well, he's with me, within me, a part of me.
Okay. So he's in your mind.
No.
We can't argue with personal experience,
right.
But you can understand that we don't find it convincing for us, right?
And I tend to feel like if people, if you weren't steeped in a culture that has these very specific concepts of God, you might interpret that thing in your heart and mind or whatever differently, and not attribute it to being something that has anything to do with the Bible or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not a concept of religion. Christianity says that you are separated from God.
I think
God
it is.
Can't have anything to do with you, and you can't have anything to do with God. So it's like a Hindu. You have to work your way back to God through this idea of human sacrifice.
Do you think you're the only Christian in the world or person in the world who thinks he has a direct personal relationship with God? Because you're not.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and when we look at all those people and what they say, there's no coherence there. They're all saying different things, and so it seems clear to us that there's no objective basis for claims like that.
Well, that's the problem. See, God has given you a free will, and you can think and believe in anything you want.
You're saying that as an assumption when we don't think there is a God, so we don't think that he's given us any free will.
Well, I don't know. Do you think he's given you free will?
No, because we don't think God exists.
Well, do you think you have a free will?
That is a huge point of debate that's way too much to get into. I tend to fall on the free will side, but I don't think it has anything to do with God. And I know a lot of atheists don't think that free will technically exists. But whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Well, but anyway, that's still got nothing to do with the way what Christianity is.
Are you a Christian?
People are evil. No.
Okay. Do you believe
these people are evil? They worship Satan.
Wait, but you did say your belief it matches what's described in the Bible somewhat. Do you believe Jesus Christ existed? Or
no, there's no Jesus in the Bible.
Okay.
His name was
He's
Joshua.
talking about the Old Testament, I guess.
Oh no.
No. And then
which Bible are you talking about exactly?
The New Testament, this so-called Christian, it was written by Jews. How can you call it a Christian Bible anyway? It was written by Jews.
Because it is the foundation of Christianity.
No, it's not.
Unless
no, it's not.
You're cutting out the New Testament. Do you think the New Testament is part of the Bible?
No.
So yes. Are you Jewish?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. Well, that's an argument. But anyway, Christianity comes from this guy Saul of Tarsus.
Yeah, I know.
This guy Saul of Tarsus.
And the Old Testament. And the Old Testament comes from some superstitious writings of a bunch of nomadic sheep herders.
I don't know why you say that. What makes you think they were nomadic sheep herders? You don't think they were educated people?
I think many of them were. There were some educated sheep herders, but on the whole, I mean, this stuff comes down from legends that were passed on through oral traditions. So
that's true, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't think any of it has any particular insight about the nature of the universe or any magic man in the sky.
Yeah, but any book is like that. Even a book that's leading you astray, sometimes it'll have a paragraph in there that tells you the truth. So you have to, and it's written by these people, so you have to go through it and look for the truth.
Yeah, right, but when a book is full of a lot of nonsense and the occasional accidentally true statement, I'd rather read something that's mostly true.
Yeah, I have a wonderful analogy there. It's shit in the applesauce. And there may be some awesome applesauce in there, but you really got to dig for it, and is it really worth it?
Yeah. Anyway,
that's true.
I think we've been on this call for a while, and we're going to move on to other callers. But thank you for calling, John.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, see ya.